you could join me today because it's kind of an exciting day for me to be making a video because I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for this record to come out for the longest time. Well, I mean, not even come out, but actually arrive to my house. The new Radiohead album. I'm one of those people that does not listen to an album even if it's available on CD or Spotify or anywhere you can stream it before I get my record. So I am probably the last person who considers themselves a pretty big radio fan on the planet who has not heard their new album, A Moon-Shaped Pool. So I wanted to come on today and show you that it did arrive. I have not opened it yet, and at the end of this video you guys are going to open it with me. And we're going to see what this looks like after a very long wait together for the very first time. Anybody who's a Radiohead fan is probably like, well, you're kind of late to this, and I realize, but this is a big day for me because I have been waiting for this now for, I don't know, 8 days, 9 days, or something like that. I ordered it directly from their website, and that was probably mistake number one because it shipped from, I think it said Swiss Post on it. So I guess it came from somewhere in Europe. I really don't know, but anyway, it is here. And I'm going to save it for last because it's their new album and it just came out about a week and a half ago. But anyway, I'm so excited to have it, and I thought in the meantime I'll just show you the rest of the Radiohead catalog. I don't have anything special or unique really, it's just the standard stuff, but I'm just going to show you my Radiohead records, talk about each album just briefly. And I'm really anxious to get to the opening the new record, so this probably won't be a very long video. Anyway, everything started off in 1993 with this album here called Pablo Honey. This is a reissue from probably 2010, something like that. I don't know if there's original copies of this or not, but it's just a single album, and a lot of Radiohead fans kind of dismiss this as not their best. It did, of course, contain the song Creep. Everybody knows that song. And until recently, Radiohead kind of refused to play that song because that's still, to this day, probably what they're most known for by the masses. But I think they finally kind of accepted the fact that people love that song, and even though the band doesn't particularly like it, they are starting to play it live a little bit. So Pablo Honey is a decent album. You know, it was brilliant for the time, but maybe a little bit dated now. But I like it. A lot of people probably think it's their worst record, but I suppose it's only up from there, so not a big deal if you don't like that album. You know, so what? You know, there's a lot of other good ones to come. 2 years later, in 1995, they released this album, and this happens to be one of their very best albums. Probably their most accessible listening album, you could say, that has more of a pop sound to it, or maybe more of a mainstream sound, you might think. At least that's my impression of it. So in a way, it is my favorite record, but in a way, it's probably maybe their safest record, too. The Bends from 1995, I mean, every song on here really is good. I love this record. The title track, High and Dry, Fake Plastic Trees, My Iron Lung, Bulletproof, Street Spirit, Fade Out. I mean, it's become a classic, and I personally love it. Some fans of Radiohead dismiss it as maybe not their best work, but to me, it is among their best work for sure. And anybody who doesn't like that album is probably being a little bit selfish at knowing that it isn't their most experimental work, it's not their most ambitious work. But again, for the time in '95, I thought it was very ambitious, and it stands the test of time quite well. 1997, probably their most critically acclaimed album came out, called OK Computer. This got all kinds of recognition, and I think it was nominated for a Grammy for Album of the Year that year, too. Don't hold me to that, but I think it was. Not too much to look at the gatefold, but this is a modern classic, I would call it. You know, this. You know, you can go through the tracks. There's really no point in me talking to you about each track because Radiohead fans all have their personal favorite songs, and I do not consider this their best album, like a lot of people do. A lot of people say this is their absolute masterpiece classic, but for me, I think a couple albums are a little bit better than this. And you know, again, it's they don't have a bad album, but for me, this is probably like third on the ranking if I was going to do a ranking. And I'm just talking off the top of my head. I really did not plan for this video today because I had no idea I was getting that finally, the new album. 2000, 3 years later, Kid A came out, and they released this as a double 10-inch LP, and I think that's the only way it's available. I don't think this was ever released as a full 12-inch. But this has an amazing sound quality. I mean, this is one that will really test your drywall in your house. It's pretty darn incredible. This one and the next one are amazing sonic masterpieces, really, in my opinion. And I love them both. They both have a similar feel to it. Everything in this right place, Kid A. Here I am reading tracks again. There's no point in doing that, but you know, Radiohead fans mostly love Kid A, and I think it's pretty universally loved, and I'm right there with you. It's a classic, again, a modern classic. Followed that up just a year later, I think, yeah, a year later in 2001 with another album, I guess you could say, even though it's maybe just slightly shorter than a full album, called Amnesiac. Again, 10 inches on this release, and I think that might be the only way it was released, I think. Not 100% sure of that. This one's even hard to read when you got your eyes right on it, but I love this. There's a particular song on here, too, called, I can't think of the name, which one it is. Well, the first track. All of this, again, it's really going to test your system, because you need a good system to fully appreciate Radiohead sometimes, because if you don't, and you're playing it on a smaller system, or, you know, maybe you don't have the technology to really appreciate this album. This is just bass loaded, and I love it. But it's difficult at times to hear it, because you just maybe have to be in a little bit of a mood for it. But when you are, it will really, really rock your world. So now I'm going to show you the album that came out in 2001 that I consider their best album. This is called Hail to the Thief. And this is where I really, really started loving, absolutely loving the band about, what is that, 15 years ago. This, to me, is their masterpiece. Now, again, debatable, don't beat me up in the comments. I know every Radiohead fan has their favorite, but I love this record, and this is the one I play the most, probably, of all of their albums. And very difficult to read the track listing on this one, but it's fantastic. So if you're new to Radiohead, this might be a great place to start. All these are really pretty much readily available. Capitol Records has reissued them several times. I think they just recently did it again. So I don't think anybody's going to struggle finding any Radiohead albums. So I'm happy to report that none of these are rare, and none of these would be difficult to get. 2000, let's see, let me scroll down just a second. I always like to try to get my years right. 4 years it took to release In Rainbows. And another amazing, you know, maybe my second favorite Radiohead album. I said, you know, OK Computer would probably be third, but I think it would be Hail to the Thief, then this one, In Rainbows, and then OK Computer. For me personally, this one I just absolutely love. You know, they did a whole live recording of this album, and when you watch that online and you see them playing these songs in a live studio kind of format, it will really, really change your opinion of Radiohead if you're not a fan, because they are amazing musicians and just incredible. So I really, really like this record, and at times I think it's become almost my very favorite Radiohead album. So they had a great stretch there for me. 2011, again, 4 years. They're not the fastest working band in the world, but they released an album called The King of Limbs. A lot of people think this is their weakest album. I like it. I like it a lot. It's grown on me. Maybe the first couple listens, it is a bit of a grower. But if you're patient with it, this one will really impress you as well. So I would say, you know, maybe start with Hail to the Thief if you're brand new to Radiohead and you like my opinion. Or maybe one of these late In Rainbows, or this one might be a good place to start too. So great, great album. Just a couple things I can show you. This is an unofficial release, but it's really, really good sound quality, so I don't mind showing it. That this is a live recording from 2001 called Radiohead Rocks, and I was very, very surprised how good this sounded. I think they do have an official live album out there, but I don't have that, and I'm not 100% sure it's on vinyl. They also have a greatest hits package that is on vinyl, but that one is hard to get, so I don't have that. So I don't have any of the 12-inch singles. I don't have any of the, I guess, harder to find items. So I do kind of stick to studio albums. I've got this one album here, a live album, and I've got, let's see, let me show you a couple things. I can't remember what year this came out. Maybe it says on here. It wasn't that long ago. 2013, kind of a side project. I think it was just one member of Radiohead, Tom York, yeah. Plus, no, I think it was, well, I'm not 100% sure. It may have just been Tom York, but I'm not 100% sure who else from Radiohead was involved with this, if anybody. But Atoms for Peace released kind of a side project, I guess you could call it. I'm lukewarm on this one. it didn't blow me away, and frankly, I've only heard it twice, and I'm not that familiar with it because, like I said, it didn't blow me away. Some people really love it, though, so I probably need to go back to it and try it again. But it doesn't sound that much different than anything Radiohead would do, and definitely not that much different than the two Tom York solo albums, so for me it's like, well, seems a little pointless, but anyway, I'm probably not giving that one a fair critique and a fair judgment because I'm not that familiar with it. An album I am very familiar with is Tom York, the singer of Radiohead's debut solo album called The Eraser. Really like this. This is fantastic. This was like a pet project, I guess, that maybe he did for quite a few years. But it was really all done on a computer, I think, if I remember the news and press when this came out, that it's not organic in any way. It's very, I guess, electronically, put together, but I really, really like it, and this is a standout in the entire catalog I've shown you. I really like this solo album, so if you haven't picked this up yet, I would say definitely give this a try, because this is, outside of Radiohead, his finest work. And then it was just, I think, last year that Tom York released his second solo album called Tomorrow's Modern Boxes. Very unique packaging on this. It comes in this foil bag that has some sort of anti-static or, some sort of environmental protection for the record, I think. And you unzip this, and then there's the actual album on the inside, and it's on white vinyl. I'm not going to open it for the sake of time, because this is probably the most interesting part of it, really, that it comes in this silver protective bag. It's solid white vinyl, and the album cover is pretty much right here, so not too much to see beyond this point. But I was, again, kind of lukewarm on this one. I wasn't crazy about it. I definitely prefer The Eraser more than I preferred this one. Didn't give it probably a fair shake, though, so I'm going to have to come back to it. Maybe this new album will inspire me to go back to this and try it again, because I was just okay with it. But so I won't say I'm the biggest Radiohead fan in the world. There have been times when, like I said, for me, I have to be in the mood for them. And I probably don't go back to their catalog often enough, and I kind of stick to the ones I like Hail to the Thief and In Rainbows and OK Computer and the Bends. I play a lot, and then I kind of neglect some of their other stuff because I love those albums so much, and then the other stuff is maybe just a step below that for me. But I'm excited about this. I think I'm going to like it a lot. This is a new album, but a lot of this material on here has been around for a while. They've performed it live for some time. None of these, except I think for 2 or 3 of the tracks, are really brand new written songs specifically for this album. But I do love the artwork, and I'm going to open it now. So I'm going to get my trusty little box opener here, and we're going to look at it together. I have no idea if I got the black version or the white version. I've seen both a lot online. I don't know how. I don't remember ordering anything when I ordered this when they announced it. I remember it was a Sunday, and all of a sudden it was just there, and I went a little crazy and said, I gotta have it right now. I didn't wait for Amazon. I didn't wait thinking, I can just buy it locally. But I was excited. I got pumped up, and in the meantime, since then I've kind of suffered for my being quick on the draw, because everybody on the planet has this record, and I think I was the last one to get it. But nevertheless, it's here, and I'm very excited for that. So, wow. It's a big day, when you get a big band like this and you're opening up the record for the first time. So here's the cover. You can see that the silver Radiohead, a moon-shaped pool, is embossed and very bright and shiny. I absolutely love the artwork on this. The back cover is maybe not as exciting, but the front cover is fantastic. So let's look at the gatefold together for the first time. Oh, wow. So definitely the same type of theme, but you get some color added to it, so that's just terrific. And then, let's see, I have a feeling it's going to be black, but we're about to find out. Let's see, here's the, this is the second record disc, inner sleeve, front and back, and let's see what color I got. I believe it's going to be black. Yeah, it's black. So I don't know where people are getting the white one, and frankly I don't care, because I'm kind of sick of white vinyl. So for me, I think I'm just happy with black, and not disappointed in any way. So, typically speaking, now, it's debatable again, but for me, it seems like black vinyl does sound better in the long run than white vinyl. I like clear for sound. I like, really clear and black have the best sound reproduction for me. Color vinyl, while it's exciting and fun, sometimes you lose just a little bit of that clarity. They tend to warp a little bit, so again, I'm not disappointed it's black because all my other Radiohead albums are black, so it really is best for me in a way. And there's the back. They always kind of have the same type of imagery on some of their albums, so I don't know if one of the band members is a bit of an artist. I'm sure I'll get a lot of comments on this video because there is a lot of Radiohead experts out there, and I am by no means one of them. Sorry, the camera's washing out the colors a little bit, but there's the labels if you want to take a look at that. So, well, it's a very, very exciting day for me. I couldn't be more happy with it, really. It's in great condition. There's no seam splits. And I'm so happy that you could be here with me to open this up for the first time. I really got to tell you, this is in perfect shape for as long as it's sat in the mail. There just isn't a single thing wrong with it. So it was worth the wait. I got a great copy, and it's here, and I can play it, and that's where I'm heading right now. So thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the seal to reveal, because that was kind of the point of this video. But in the meantime, I thought, well, why not show you the rest of their studio albums and talk about the band a little bit. So hope you enjoyed it. You'll know what I'll be doing for the next 45 minutes, and I'll get editing this video later on today, and hopefully it'll be up soon. So thank you so much for watching, and hope everyone's having a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. See you soon. Bye for now.